Hello gamers and welcome to some more exciting preview content for WARNO. And the Nemesis 3 DLC will be launched soon, and I've got the chance to already take a look at it and show you content. And it's called Homefront, and there are two new divisions, one NATO division, and that's the division that was supposed to guard the Arctic and maybe go on the offensive as well. That is the 6th Light Infantry. This one, 6th Infantry Division Light, and then we've got the 157th Guards Mortar Strelki. That's the Soviet division. They are stationed on the Crimea. They were historically founded after the Second World War, and in the real timeline became inactive. But in the WARNO timeline, obviously things didn't calm down, so they are still active on Crimea. And in real life, they kind of were merged with some Ukrainian forces. And it's the first reserve Soviet unit. Also, you can see the armory upgrade. For me, it's new. And you know, where you can filter for individual traits. You can, for example, look at all GSR units. And you can look at all GSR units that are special forces and narrow it down further, that are airborne and that have shock. You can narrow it down, and then the options that that are not available any longer disappear. Or you can look at all drones, for example, that are unarmed. They're all unarmed. So that's really cool. For the preview content, as per usual, I'm going to look at the new divisions first, and then including a deck building attempt, and then I will pitch them against each other. So let's go and start with the 6th Infantry Division. There will be some Navy SEALs, because there was a Navy SEALs training base as well. Lots of reserve troops, some airborne troops, also reservist airborne troops that have been attached. And in the WARNO timeline, Ohio National Guards units have been attached so that there are some sort of tanks at least. All right. Audio, okay. So, I actually had to switch on the music because it's so good. So let's take a look at the points distribution. Logistics, fairly decent. Infantry, also very decent. Artillery, not so great. Tank tab without tanks, but with some anti-tank units. Recon tab is pretty damn good, to be honest. Maybe one of the strongest tabs together with infantry. AA, not so good. Helicopters, okay-ish. And air will be pretty damn good. Let's start with the supply tab. You get trucks here and vehicles. Helicopter supply is all a bit similar to other National Guard and Reserve units that are already implemented in the game. For command, you've got the M577. Get this new unit. It's a beast of a helicopter. It looks like a ship container it's carrying. And yeah, 1,500 supply, get 4 on the card. You always get 6,000 supply. But the more supply one unit brings, the more cost efficient it is. Here's the National Guard. Then we get this helicopter, that's 9th, 24th Infantry Division, already in. Dark Horse, command helicopter. Something I usually don't take because it's a bit squishy. You get a Humvee as a command option and a field supply point. You fight at home, so the support tab is good. Infantry tab, you get a ton of options. Also there's US Air Force and US Marine Corps units to safeguard, you know, the depots, nuclear depots of the Navy, and also the airfields. So we get the National Guards 7.6 mm unit. They get You get 12 on a card for just 10 points. You also get 12 for 15 points. It's the better. Switch that on. Get the get them without the reserve trait. I mean, you can go for military police as well. Same availability. Get airborne troops, and they are new. And there's something special about them. They can shoot down helicopters as well. So this is actually really good, and you can forward deploy them as well. I think this can be a really good tool against opponents that rely on helicopters. They are a bit more costly, obviously, and less units on the card, but still pretty good. And you can see the difference here. It's more sturdy. Also, their speed is lower. I first thought maybe it's a bug, but they just have to carry more. So other M2 HP units have 18 kilometer speed, and this one has 9. Then you get a 40mm grenade launcher. The options here are the Fireteam Leader, the Fireteam Law, and the Fireteam Dragoon. They are rather small squads, 6 men each, good availability, decent price, and despite the nerfs, I think this is still the ranged nerf. It's still a nice option against tank-heavy troops. You just need to position differently. You have the chance to get an Engineers Leader, more expensive than the Fireteam Leader, but also much beefier, as you can see. And one unit less on the card. Get your good old Engineers with the Satchel and the Engineers with Flash. And there's a new unit that reminds me a bit of this French unit. There's a anti-tank French unit, I think. AT rocket launchers. This one has 17 penetration each. 7 men strong, so quite beefy. They can hold out a little bit as well on their own against other infantry, in particular when they have the cover advantage. So that's actually quite an interesting and also a new unit for the Americans. National Guard's Rifles Leader. 3 on the card, 6 men's and AT. I think this is pretty good. This is the leader I'm most likely gonna go for. Get some options here. And one is a dragon, and that's just for the for this division here as well. It's new for this division. So I think this is also quite a good option. Then you get NG Rifles Law. They're all disheartened, of course. It's also, yeah. Then we've got the NG M15. It's a tank gun, but I'm not so sure if it's that great because reload time 9 seconds. Can be used to flank the enemy. National Guard's tank gun, and you get the National Guard's ITO. You get the really good TOW 2 airborne, so that's notable. Also here in the 82nd Airborne, you get the 2A, not airborne, and has worse accuracy, but that's because it's less veterancy. And there's another difference. A gives you this double boom tandem. The tandem charged heat round is specifically designed to penetrate explosive reactive armor. Using dual charge warheads, penetration is increased by +1 against ERA equipped units, which is cool, but you also get 1 less unit basically. Go for the same veterans. And here we get some really cool. Oh, what I want to note as well, I think these units cards here with this Arctic climate kind of are new. And now we get some really new units. And this is a very interesting unit, in my opinion. It's a US Air Force Security Patrol. They do have called commandos, but they have stingers as well. It's only 4 men, but as a behind-the-line force, it's pretty good because they also have the security trait, which increases their optics when stationary, so they will have good optics. And also they are military police, so they can keep those National Guards unit that fight in front of them in line. I think this is a very interesting unit, and you get 6 on the card. Also, you have the option of bringing them in this unit which I would always do. I mean, look at that. Why would you not take this one that has the military police trait? It's the same price and looks pretty damn cool. And then there's a new unit here. It's right from Mad Max. It's a military police peacekeeper unit. So you might want to go for that as well. Also because of the armor against small fire. I think this for just 5 points more. It's also significantly faster. Then you get a US Air Force security, and they are more doing the dirty work of, you know, fighting. They are also military police, and they have 3 machine guns in total and assault rifles, 13 men strong, so very, very beefy. And the military police trait will help them. Unfortunately, they don't have a military police vehicle, but other than that, I think it's a pretty good unit. Then you get the light rifles leader option here, and he comes with smoke grenade. I think smoke is really useful. Another new unit here is the light rifles Viper. Viper was supposed to replace the law, if I recall it correctly, from the Dev Diary. And only a couple of thousands were produced, but in the WARNO timeline, they have been, you know, deployed. As you can see, it is slightly better penetration, but actually slightly worse accuracy. And you get the light rifles law and the light rifles recoil. They are known like from Berlin Command. They used to be super good. I think they've been nerfed at some point. Another new unit here is the light rifles 84, 9 men strong, a good AT weapon. This I think is also a go-to unit. Bet that you lose 3. I think it's worth betting them. The reason why they are not can't be vetted, if I recall it correctly, is they are basically reserve units, but still kind of like veterans. So they don't get reservist trait, but they are locked here with their veterans. Then you get the US Marine Corps security unit, and they are more there to deal with tanks. As you can see, they also have a sniper rifle and smoke grenades. So very good unit in my opinion as well. They do have shock if they get into CQC. They do have the security trait, and because they are Marine infantry, they are also resolute. Very interesting unit. They also can run very fast, as can these airborne troops. You get the you get the airborne leader, shock and airborne. Get airborne dragon, and they're like from 82nd. So not new, but a cool unit here. Well, and we get the Navy SEALs for the first time, and they are commandos, of course. Also special forces. Less suppression, more damage, and also elite veterans. So you get 3 on the card, which ain't too bad. And you get 2 cards. They can do CQC. They can take out tanks. 9 men strong, nice unit. Artillery tab. Get some 80mm mortars. Why am I zoomed in there? Get some 107mm mortars. 105mm artillery that can be airlifted, and you can even choose that as an option here. See, airlifter. These 105mm can also be airlifted, and then you get 155mm. So nothing to write home about, just some options. I think these are like kind of old, and that's why they are still available. And for the first time here, get these 105mm. Ground targets terrain is better on the M119. Other than that, it's pretty much the same for 10 points more, so you should go for that. Same ammunition as well. The reason being, you lose accuracy with distance based on your maximum distance. or maximum range. So it's better to have a longer range if you want to have more accurate shots. No mobile options though, which is a bit of a shame. Tank tab. You get the normal ITO, National Guards, Jeep. 2 cards, you get the ITV. Has 12 anti-tank missiles, 20 penetration and lots of range, so that can be really good. In particular if you outrange the tank, of course, and the same goes for the Humvee. You get 3 cards. They are more expensive. They've got the better tow. They are not reservists. Obviously, they don't have armor. Recon tab, which is another strong suit of this division in addition to the infantry tab, is the Alaskan Sniper. It's a sniper unit. That's a National Guard. That's a reservist unit and airborne. I think that's a really interesting unit. You can bring them in this so that you can then use for scouting, and you can also bring them in a helicopter. Then another unit are the Alaskan Scouts. They have also some armored transport options. Not new, but this one is new, which I think is really interesting because you get lots of machine gun power here on top of it. You can even fight helicopters. So I think this is an interesting option. So it's a bit slow, of course, but not much slower than the Jeep actually. So yeah, and then you get the Alaskan Cavalry Scouts. They come with a recoilless rifle, also 6 men. They're all here, as you can see, double vetted, so veteran, which is really good. Could increase that further, theoretically, but yeah, you lose only 2. Here you lose only 1, so that might actually be worthwhile. This will also be up vetted. You can go for this new ACAF unit as well. Scouts. That's nothing new here. With a variety of transport options. Get Pathfinders. They are a new unit. They can be forward deployed, and they can also come in a Jeep that can stay. And the loadout is it can take out tanks and it can hide itself. It's only 4 men, so the shock trait won't help them too much, I think. Then you get the scout helicopter, always nice to have. And this is your only tank from the Ohio National Guard. And you get 6 and you get 2 cards. Might have to go for it, but you would definitely have to attach military police vehicles to it. Negate the negatives, I think. Then you get the LRS, not a new unit, but here you go. You've got your GSR unit, which will increase the optics. Exceptional, which is fantastic. It can hold out with 6 men, sniper rifle, AT capabilities. You can bring it. It's double vetted already. You can boost 2, so I probably wouldn't do it. You have a variety of vehicles and helicopters, and you get a little plane here to scout. It's quite costly at 250 points, but you can also shoot at ground targets. Definitely an interesting option for the opener, maybe even. AA tab, National Guard Stingers, 2 cards of normal Stingers, and then airborne Stingers that you can forward deploy. Give them veterancy, they go down to 7 and 5, so the AB Stinger for 5 points more if you go for the veterancy is, in my opinion, actually the better unit. Then you get the Vulcan, new here for the Americans, and you get 2 cards of Eyehawks for your long range. So, but slots are, very few slots and very expensive slots. Helicopters, you get the Cobra. That's apparently a new loadout with the grenade launcher, possibly. You do get Hawk. Looks nice. And gets the tow Cobra as well. It's your only AT helicopter. Might be worth taking. Get 3 cheap slots so you can play around with it. Air tap. Get lots of new planes. They are like Navy planes and also carrier-based planes. Corsair planes, or the Corsair 2 I should say, are quite fast with 1000 kilometers, but ECM is only 20%. Could be worse, but could also be better. You get a rocket plane here with some AA missiles as well. You get an HE plane for nearly 1000 kilogram bombs. Also air-to-air options. The cluster bomber also has air-to-air, and the Rock I-2 is the cluster bomb. And then you get a dedicated AT plane, also air-to-air missiles and 30 penetration against ground targets. The range is quite good with more than 3000 meters. And you get the new intruder planes. They look kind of like a bit squishy in my opinion, but they are actually not. They also have 10 health. They're even a bit faster. And same shitty, well not shitty, but not fantastic ECM. That's the napalm bomber. You get 2 seed planes. This is the first one. 40% ECM. Exceptional air optics. And you get 2 on the card. And you can go for the Prowler, which has a better anti-radiation missile. Because it's like 1000 meter more range. That's quite a bit. Has a significantly better accuracy. And on top of that, one second, you have 60% ECM, so that's really good. Here it also says electronic warfare. This unit is equipped with countermeasures and powerful devices to detect or jam enemy radar and signals. They are employed near or over enemy territory, locating and disrupting radar-equipped units. So that's really cool. Yeah. And you have a Warthog with air-to-ground missiles and a rotary cannon. This is a nice plane as well. Very slow, obviously, but and it has been nerfed a bit, I think, but good option. Then you have your dedicated AA fighter is the F-15C Eagle, really good fighter. Unfortunately, the NATO fighters don't have the best range with their missiles compared to the good Soviet planes, so that's a bit of a downfall, but you at least get 40% ECM, and the plane is super fast as well. So this is the division. I think it's a very interesting division. You will struggle against tank heavy decks, so make sure you bring enough ITOs and supply them. Or get some of those cheap supply units where it doesn't matter too much when you lose them, so that all your ITOs can have like their own vehicle to supply them. I think that's important for this division. Also the play with the military police. So what's my division of the deck? I think I might decide between the Navy SEALs and the US Air Force Security Patrol, because I think they are really cool, in particular with the Peacekeeper unit. Navy SEALs are also good because I love the series Navy SEALs. But I think I will have to go for the US Air Force Security Patrol and also use them for the screenshot, but together with the Peacekeeper, of course. Scroll here a bit to make the... It would be cool to be able to blend it, to hide the UI. But there we go. Well, let me actually open this so we can see this. Okay, let me know what is your favorite unit in the division. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Until then, bye for now.